What the Friday with Burch and Burch, the father-daughter game show where we earn points for candor and humility as we flesh out whatever topic floats to the top like a bad turd. That description was written by Bill Burch, and also this is not a game show.
No, but the turd is real. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Hey, well, it's great to see you. I have not seen you this week. I've been gone all week. How are you?
Yes, you have. I'm great. I slept last night. It's a good day. Also, I have just been dressing myself to make myself happier, and it is so effective. Like I wake up three majority of these days this week, I've woken up and I've been like, oh man, I'm a pile of crap. And then and then I go, I'll go dress myself up in like a mildly rebellious way, and it helps.
Awesome. Maybe I should try that.
How are you?
I'm good. Good. Things are good. A little behind. A lot of stuff going on this week. Out of town doing a special project, and now I'm back, and I have life. My New Jersey life is back. My Manhattan life is back. So phone's been ringing like crazy.
We're here. We're queer. I wish I was queer so that I could say that, because I think it's one of the best sayings.
What saying?
You know, they're like, we're here, we're queer, and I don't know what the third part is, but it's fun and I like it.
I must have missed that one.
Also, people from your generation think that is a politically incorrect word. But my generation, people choose that word over all others because it's the least specific. Not all people, obviously.
Which word is that?
Queer.
Queer.
Yeah. It used to be a diss, and now it's like an identifier. But anyway, so
see, maybe some of you that are watching that are older are learning things just as fast as I am, because it's never ending. It's like, okay, good to know.
It's pretty dang slow. I'm just kidding. You set me up for the diss, and then I had to take it. Okay.
I didn't get it.
We're gonna. Did you really not? Oh no, you're making fun. I get it. I get it now. I see what you're doing.
Sometimes I miss them.
Yeah.
I have to ask your mom, what was she talking about there? Don't ask it. It's just going to make you mad. Okay.
I don't know if that. Okay. So first and foremost, we are not foremost. The first thing on our list of things we wanted to talk about is goal setting.
Right. You've got a problem with that.
Excuse me? You did not position this as an intervention. But all right.
Morgan needs a goal setting intervention. We were talking about some work things a little bit ago, and she's like flips up her task list calendar in a calendar format.
Did you set me up yet? And I was like, let me show you what my to-do list looks like.
Like, no wonder.
I'm very organized, okay? It's just there's a lot that I'm trying to do every day.
So I sent you a text this morning. What did the text say? Do we have a meeting this morning at 9:30? She's like, no.
I said
like 10 minutes later, I get a text. Oh my God, yes. It's in my calendar. Just haven't gotten to it yet.
I got a full life, man. Get off my back.
You know, there's only so much you can get. I don't know how to do that. I wonder how other people handle task lists and goal lists when there's so much going on that you don't want to lose track of it. You want to stay focused on it, but there's got to be some way to triage your goals.
Yeah, I think your advice that you just gave me before we started this, I think is going to really help, because before my lists every day were not crazy long, so it was a little bit more manageable. But now the lists are like 25 tasks set up at the beginning, plus more than that, probably more than that actually. But you are the worst. You never turn your phone on silent.
I'm sorry.
But your advice today was really good. It was for goal setting. When you saw my list, you said, why don't you open up your every morning, the first thing you do is open up this task list and just read through the list and ask yourself, what if I could only do 5 of these things, what things would I do? What things are priority? And I think that really helps. So I'm going to start reading through the whole list instead of being like, I'm just going to tackle these one at a time.
Well, I hope that works for you. I do that sometimes when I get up early enough and I'm clear-minded enough. Sometimes the day just happens fast enough that it's hard to do that. I get up a little bit late, and I have clients, people that'll call at 7:00 in the morning, and I'm just like trying to find a coffee machine, and off you go.
Can you turn your volume down all the way on your phone? Silent mode and turn it all the way down. It's starting to do a weird echoey thing.
Yeah.
We're living and learning, you guys. Thanks for being here with us. Okay, so that's a good tip from my father about goal setting and how to handle a lot of tasks. Next, we have a rant about regulation from Dad.
I'm sick of those COVID forms. I get it, but gee whiz. It's like every time something happened, when COVID first hit, there was all this buzz about how can we develop more regulation? And it's frustrating. I haven't heard of anybody actually needing one or having anything tested so that they had to do that. I don't know. It's just, I think about all kinds of regulation, and I get that it's a good idea and that you should have regulation in certain areas, but I do think there's an area where you get to have a little bit too much and people are a little too anxious to sue each other. So we have to spend a lot of money to try to keep people from doing that.
Yeah.
And then in the end, there's only so much gross domestic product, and we all share that. And when you take the gross domestic product and you start carving out productivity due to regulation, all of a sudden it gets thinner. And there's this whole layer of people at the bottom of our economic strata that have no money, but it's because it can never get to them, because we do so much to be regulated, highly regulated. I drive around Union City and I see apparently contractors have to have policemen at construction sites that are on the street. So the policeman pulls his car up and just does his thing. But I can pull up and not have any idea where I'm going or what I'm supposed to do. The only reason the policeman's there is because he's a regulation has said that he has to be there. But there's nothing to help me get around traffic. Doesn't make me feel any safer.
I hear you on the regulation thing. And the reason I got no passion about it is because I can't do anything about it. So I do think you're right in that regulation slows us down, but I can't control it. So I'm just like, well, yeah, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So anyway, just a little frustrating just going through that. It's a little bit of everything everywhere, which I was in, doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm curious, you had moving on from that stuff, while I was gone, went on some dates. How's that going? How's the dating life going?
Dating with social distance restrictions, but still,
I like that.
People. Yeah, I do too, because I feel like hot take, maybe unpopular opinion. There is a dating culture now that says that you were supposed to kiss on the first date. And usually this is online dating and you've just met the person, and I don't appreciate it because it's a lot. I mean, kissing is intimate and also it's kind of a lot.
Serious?
I'm serious.
How do you even know that? How do you have like some kind of a newsletter you go to and it says it's an expectation?
Even if they don't seem very into you, they still do it because they think that they're supposed to as well, and it's like a thing. So there have been I have involuntarily actually.
Oh God, do I want to know this?
Yeah. It's so funny. Okay, so one time I went on this date with this guy, not into him. Also, so I'm trying to get out of the date by going, I have to leave. This is not a recent date. This is a year ago. And I'm trying to, not a year ago, a while ago. And I'm leaving the date. And I'm like, you know what? I have to go meet my friend a few blocks away. And then he was like, cool, I'll walk with you. And I was like, I was not good enough at communication at the time. So I just said, okay, I guess so. And then he kept trying to shake him, but being like, I got to turn here. So I'll see you later. And then he would be like, I don't have anywhere to go. I'll go with you. And so I'm walking to nowhere. I don't have a friend to meet. We get 6 or 7 blocks of just winding with me trying to get rid of him. And I was like, okay, I really have to go. I just realized I got to hop in this Uber. Like I ordered an Uber to get away from this guy. I should have just said, thanks for the date. I'm going to go now. Please leave. Right. But it was not a year ago.
Please leave. That's what every guy wants to hear when he's out on a date. No, thanks. That was a great drink. Please leave now.
It was 4 years ago because I was in Chicago. And he leans in for the kiss. And I go, oh, no, out loud. Oh, no. Involuntarily. And I watch his face register, oh crap, I shouldn't kiss her. But he was like, the momentum was happening. So his eyes were, but his mouth was still kissing me and he kissed my teeth. While I was going, no, because you know how my mouth is shaped, I guess my teeth were exposed. And it was the most awkward separation ending of a day I've ever had.
Oh my goodness.
He did text me later and go, so I'm guessing this means not another day. I was like, yes, your assessment is correct. So I'm against the kissing on the first date thing. If you've been friends forever and you've decided to try being romantic, and so you go out and the date is intention, like that's the intention. Hey, we're trying to explore this. Okay, then I get kissing on the first date, the technical first date. But every other version of what? It's so much.
So you're not telling me though that there haven't been first dates that you haven't been very interested in that.
Do you even want to ask this question?
I don't want to go any further than that. I'm just saying.
I have been on first dates where I did, in fact, think it would be nice if they kissed me on the first date. You're welcome for that very kind response.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nobody here knows, though, that we did do a Never Have I Ever at a recent family reunion that kind of outed everybody in our family for all kinds of things, which was absolutely hilarious.
It's hilarious in retrospect. In the moment, literally everyone was uncomfortable. It was a terrible idea. Do not play Never Have I Ever with your family.
I thought it was awesome.
You needed that advice.
It wasn't bad until the second generation said, "Oh, we want a chance to come up with the questions." And then it was your group that came up with the really telling questions.
Sorry, I almost lost my phone there. Yeah, well, that's because we've all played Never Have I Ever, and that's the kind that it usually is, and so that's what we did. Whatever. Anyway, yes, but more recently, as a much more driven, mature person who's got a lot of drive and vision, I've just been on fire lately with excitement for where my career is going and where I'm going. I was explaining this to my friend last night, and I was like, I got into the journey of this business because I have had jobs in the past that I really like the glamorous title. Like I chose the mountain for how the mountain looked. I was like, I'm going to climb that mountain because if I reach the top, it would look so good. And it looks really good to be on that mountain. But I chose this without that idea at all. I chose this career move as I want to love the journey. I want to love the climb. So who cares what the mountain looks like? I'm choosing this based on what it's going to be every day. And a huge part of that was working with you. And
how could it be any better?
How could it be any better? And knowing that it was a highly people focused, that it was very high risk, no ceiling, no floor. And I do well in that environment. And that you were essentially running your own business and entrepreneurial. No one is truly in charge of you. It's all on your shoulders. And I love extreme responsibility, extreme ownership. You can't see that in the shop, but it's here. So all of that is why I chose it. But then a few months ago, it's switched from just loving my everyday to getting this glimpse of who I could be and what my potential is. And I started to see that. And now I've been on fire because I'm chasing this vision and it feels specific, but it's not. I'm not going for a certain award or a certain publication to notice me or anything like that. It's this desperate drive for my potential. Like I want to see who could I be? How much could I learn? How much better of a person can I be? How much better of a friend can I be? How much better of a what can I learn from this is like the incessant question of everything. So I'm like, how do I be a better realtor? How do I serve my clients better? How do I build a business better? How do we make this show better? How do this constant addiction to growing? And I was telling another friend about this today, and he was like, it's kind of like flow state, but on a life level instead of being in flow on a project. And I would say that's kind of how it feels. It feels like I'm surfing this wave towards my potential, and I'm trying to just do the best.
Moving fast.
Yeah, as fast as I allow it to. That's the thing. It's all based on my own responsibility and how much I, embrace.
Well, now it's going to be more about scaling because you hit a limit. You only have so much personal human resource, and now as things get better, you get better, and you also have to build a team around you that everybody has benefits from that synergy. So it just keeps growing, and that's what we have 2 new team members. The newest one is Emma. Emma's on board now officially this week. Emma Seidman.
So excited.
She's a licensed real estate agent. She's going to kill it. She's just a natural.
I can't wait. I'm really excited. I love that she's on the team. If our team doesn't grow any bigger and it's just us, I'm cool with that. Like
it's going to be bigger.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it growing. I
get the point, but
about we are discriminate.
There's a reason why we're spending so much time on infrastructure and systems and the other stuff that goes along with it. So that's all there specifically to grow a very productive, successful team that's well known for a great job.
But we're discriminate, and we're not just trying to see how big we can get a team. We want a team of high performing people that we all better each other because we're all seeking to better ourselves. Yeah.
Right. We're looking for people that want to make this a career, and they want to be like you.
Or better.
Well, I mean, they want the same. They people that have that same fire to. Be unusually motivated, and they want to build their own business and want to do their own thing, and they love synergy. They see the value of 1 + 1 = 3, which is based on chemistry. So
uncommon amongst uncommon men. That's the Navy.
Common people who are uncommon.
That's the Navy SEALs quote is, "These are men who are uncommon amongst uncommon men," and that's like such a great thing. Yeah. There's also, I remember I was very obsessed.
You would be one that would love the Navy. I'm surprised you didn't go in the military.
I have thought about that so many times. Wait, why do you say that?
Because a lot of your favorite podcasters and books you like to read are military people. Overcoming adversity, really pushing yourself beyond your limits.
Yeah.
So, and you always do that, and you push that way. That's the goal sheet. You didn't get that from me.
You think?
Probably got that from your mother.
Actually, she is like that.
Yeah.
She's a train. You cannot stop that juggernaut. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Wait, all of that was to do with dating. I don't know if we should circle back to it or not.
Well, I don't have anything to add there, so.
Okay. Basically, it's hard to find people who are also driven and understand.
How do you work that into your schedule? Is that hard?
What?
Dating.
It was harder when I was less driven. Isn't that ironic? Everything was harder when I was less driven. I'm very busy. I know that factually, but I feel like my life is full. I don't feel like it's busy. So, you hop on a FaceTime or you talk to somebody in person or whatever. I think it's because I'm not drained all the time. Most of the time I feel really energized. So, talking to somebody on a date for an hour or whatever, it's not as hard to squeeze in, because I think what has makes it hard in the past is you have to have the energy for it, and it feels like it's a lack of time, but really it's a lack of energy. Because now, until I have my crash days, which are very real, but when I don't have my crash days, I don't want to escape my life. I feel like I view my life like a really awesome movie that I'm in. And so I don't want to escape my life into a TV show. I'm excited to be making this movie as amazing as possible. And I can't wait to see what's next and what can I do next. And I love that feeling.
Until you have a crash day.
And then my crash day is when I feel like,
Days.
yeah. Actually, TV is how I know where my mental state is. Because if I really want to watch a TV show, I'm like, I want to escape. Something about the way I'm viewing myself and my life is making me feel overwhelmed and tired, and I want to escape. And it's a really good telltale sign for me. And then I have a series of mental tricks that I use to get out of that, back into like romanticizing my own life in a way. Anyway.
Interesting.
So
as a father, it's hard for me to comment on that because it's just not. I get to see those. It's like, so what's up? It's day off, which does not happen very often.
Yeah, and then it's a drastic crash.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your energy
You're just wiped out
when work, and like, what's your viewpoint on all of that right now? Unless you want to talk about it.
I'm in a different place.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what's interesting. Like, we're in very different places of our lives.
I spend a lot of time like you in the place that you're at doing stuff, and now I'm trying to find some. I think I'm almost 60, so I'm trying to find some balance between being productive and getting things done. I really am looking forward to getting our studio up and doing some work in our little Burch and Burch clubhouse office studio thing that we've got going on. But I also want to do some traveling, and I don't know. I haven't done it yet. Not
hard right now,
yeah. So, yeah, just trying to be a steady Eddie. Enjoy getting up, getting my coffee, doing my thing. I make it sound like I drink decaf coffee now. So most of the time, I'm just trying to find a nice, steady marathon pace just to keep it going and have a good time and not have super highs and not have super lows. And
if you could go back to your professional self at age 30,
mm-hmm.
at age 32, because
mm-hmm.
you had me when you were 30. So mm-hmm. at age 32, what would, if you could slap your 32-year-old self around and be like, hey, take this lesson that I'm telling you right now and go use it, what would you tell that person?
I'm not sure. Somehow everybody's so different. It's hard to turn off that motivation. And sometimes you need to, so that you have time to love the people around you. Because you get so into, I was so into what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I slept, I thought about it all night. My sleep, I got up, I went. I mean, I would get up, grab a cup of coffee, put something in a cup to eat on the way to work. I would not stay home. I never sat.
I remember the styrofoam cups.
Yeah. I just throw something like a oatmeal or something in a cup, and it's like, I don't have time for this. Food is not on my agenda. Meals are not on my agenda unless they're with somebody and there's a goal to the meeting. It was like go. And then I would just go until I couldn't go anymore. Usually I had meetings at night. That's about it. So I just went like that. I would say that was too much.
So you're saying if you could go back to your 32-year-old self, you would say set some boundaries?
Yeah, that's exactly what I say. And you've got to be okay because I tried setting boundaries, and what would happen and be like, okay, I'm gonna get home at this time, and I'd physically do what I was supposed to do, but I didn't emotionally make the shift to be in that space.
Oh, I see.
That's the home office.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes
So you come home and you're like, well, there's nothing really going on. I think I'll go back to work.
Yeah.
I can do this. I need to do this. Somebody's waiting on something. I've committed to something. I'm just going to catch that up real quick. I've got a plan for something else. If I can do that now, then I won't have to do that later, and I can do something else then.
I think it's especially hard family-wise, right? Because I'm single.
Mhm.
I live in a 1-bedroom apartment by myself. And so I'm not coming home to somebody expecting me to be present with them. So that's not something I've had to overcome because I'm not in that situation. So I'm fully present when I'm with my friends, but that's because I made a deliberate date to be with that friend at that time. So
It's easy to take your family for granted.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. And now that I'm not like that, I'm like, hey. And you and your brother are like, really nice that you called.
That's not true. That my brother is like that, but I'm around all the time, so you don't call me just saying hey.
Like, I do sometimes, not very often, but
yeah, well, we see each other so often.
Yeah, if I don't see you for a day or two, because we both get busy and we both got have our own things going on, and
yeah,
we may cross within 100 yards of each other at times, but we should do that. What's the app where you can tell when people are close by?
I don't know, but that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, they're used to, well, I think it was Foursquare or something like that. It was around a long time ago. So if you were at a store, you'd know somebody else was in the store.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a mall, somebody else is in the mall, you'd know that they were in the mall and you could connect.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Foursquare, you check in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd like that. You'd be like, I don't have time for that.
I don't have time for that. No. We have to set a time to hang out.
Oh God, Dad's close by. I gotta turn this off.
Friends who are like, excuse me.
Right.
Yeah, I have to make everything is in a calendar, and there's a date and time for everything, because otherwise it just doesn't happen. So
I have a question for you, not on our agenda. Are you anxious to get the COVID vaccine?
I'm torn. I was really excited, and then I've heard a couple stories of people having like full body itches for 2 weeks and or 48 hours of flu symptoms. But I'll do it if I have the opportunity to get it. I'll get it. But especially because I would like, it would be nice.
It'd be interesting to see. I don't know. I'm not quite there yet. I think I would do it but I'm not quite old enough.
Me either.
It might be. Yeah, I think it'll be a little while for you. I have not been following. I should have followed it more. I guess we've dinked around with it for 10 months now. I just got my mask. I just put my mask on.
You've dinked around what for 10 months now?
COVID. Just avoiding it, not going out or wearing a mask, washing your hands a lot, don't touch your face.
But you're right, it's 10 months. Feels like it's been longer. The Pfizer CEO said COVID is here to stay, and that made me sad. He was like, this is the new reality. It's just going to be evolving strains, and I did not like that take, and I hope that
I think that's the way it was with the common cold. I think. I don't know.
It'll just weed out all of us who can't handle it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. We should talk about that sometime, because is it possible that we try too hard to keep people alive too long?
We have talked about this. This is that Bill Burr joke. There's a Bill Burr joke from a while ago that was like, we need less people. And he said, okay, the Bill Burr joke from before COVID was we need less people, and he knew which people we would get rid of. And those are the people, those are the people who take cruises. And then COVID hits, and all of these cruises get infected, and there are legitimately people dying, and everyone's like, Bill Burr. And then there's the Dwight Schrute joke from The Office, who is like walking through a crowd of people, and he's like, there's too many people. We need a new plague. And it's like, God, what are we doing?
It's interesting.
Moderna, and it wasn't bad. Somehow comments are now coming through on StreamYard. Yes.
I don't, we have to work on that so that we can see the comments. I can't, because I can't see anything from where I'm at.
Oh, I can. Which means that it's just because I'm the admin on the thing.
But anyway, so I think, I'd like to talk about that someday, because we go to great lengths and great expense to add minutes, hours, days, weeks to lives. And we do that while there are otherwise perfectly healthy people that are literally starving to death or dying of thirst or dying from very preventable diseases. And I'm not taking a moral stand on that. I'm just recognizing it, because if I was really that concerned about it and I was on some great guided mission, I would probably be working a lot harder to make sure that those people could eat and those people could drink water, just water.
Yeah. I'm basically asking the trolley problem.
The trolley problem?
The philosophical thing where it's, if there is a trolley headed for 5 people, and you're the only one who can control it, but if you pull the lever, it moves and it hits only one person. So if you take an action, you kill somebody. If you don't take an action, you let 5 people die. It's kind of like that.
I don't know that I've heard that before.
Interesting.
It's a great metal experiment.
Yeah, and most people, when asked that question and thinking through that question, are like, well, the one person, obviously. But from an emotional...
When it comes to actually doing it, could they do it? Because there's one, you don't really feel the intimacy of the decision, and the other one you do.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. And that's the paying thousands of dollars to save your dog and your family member who won't, if you pay all of this, maybe they get to live for 2 more months, and you do it anyway. There's that part of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really interesting human conundrum. Anyway,
okay. Well, thank you for joining us today. Who the heck knows what we talked about?
That's right. If anybody's got an opinion, we're really, so far we've been doing this. Morgan sets us up in a great thing called StreamYard, which is what brings us together like this, and we can actually have guests that can join us the same way too. But we're talking about how to set up our studio. So if you have a podcast that you like to watch, we'd love to know what it is, so that we can see how they have it set up.
Yes, if you watch any if you love the setup of a podcast, we're looking for inspo. So please tell us what you think is a cool idea, and you'll see ours hopefully next Friday. That's the goal.
That's the goal. We'll see. If not, we'll be right back here just like this. With our, if you could see my camera set up right now, it would be amazing.
You should post it on Instagram. It's Scotch tape. His dad is using Scotch tape.
I taped my phone to my
Instagram Live at the same time.
My Mac. So this right here, that your Scotch tape, 3 pieces.
I use Mom's phone to take a photo so I can see it. Okay, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you have a fantastic Friday, weekend, and beyond. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.